Hello and welcome to C++ Weekly. I'm your host, Jason Turner. I am available for on-site training, code reviews, and contracting. Now, in this episode, I want to take a moment to discuss in-place back. And it is entirely possible that you have been using in-place back if you have been using C++ 11. And this is something that I also did not mention in my last few episodes on learning modern C++, but our Clang Modernize and some of our other tools can tell us to use in-place back when it would make sense to. So I want to give a quick overview of what it does and how it works, and to do that I'm going to start with a struct that gives us a debug statement anytime one of the special member functions is called. So this is our program that can print any of the special member functions when they've occurred. And I am using a special build of Compiler Explorer that lets me actually execute the programs. The gcc.godbolt.org or just godbolt.org today will not let you actually run the program. So let's go ahead and just create our object of type S, and we should see one S created, one S destroyed, and that's what we have. So we're going to go ahead and make a vector of these things. So we should see 0 created and 0 destroyed because we have not actually put anything in our vector yet. So let's do let's start with pushback. So we're going to push back a single S object, and this is what we would expect to see. We see that one object has been created, that is the one that was created right here, and then we can see that that has been move constructed into its resulting place in the vector, and then we can see that the two have been destructed, that is the one that was moved from, and the original one. So let's compare this to an in-place back. And if you haven't used in-place back yet, we can see that in-place back has exactly one construction and one destruction. And this is because in-place back is actually calling the constructor in place. So let's go ahead and add one more version that takes an integer. And we'll just have this print out, again, a simple debug thing that states that it has called the version that takes an integer. And if we were to go back to our pushback version, and pass in the value 3, then we should see that it's going to call the version that takes an int, then it's going to call the move construction, then it's going to destroy the one that was moved from, and then it is going to destroy the one that was inside the vector. So let's go ahead and move this back to the in-place back version again so we can illustrate what it's doing. And I'm going to pass 3 on just like it was before. So in-place back is directly calling the constructor for that particular object in place where it needs to live inside the vector. And by doing that, we have actually saved the move operation. So I would say that you should almost always use in-place back. While moves are cheap, they are not as cheap as actually creating the object in place. So that is just kind of basically how in-place back works. And if you are using your modern tools, they will tell you when you should be using it. Be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and check out any of the links below.